To multiply fractions, we multiply across the numerators and across the denominators. So I'm going to start with 6a to the third power, and I'm going to write this as 2 times 3 times a times a times a. Continuing across the numerators, 5 times b times b. And now I'm going to multiply across the bottom. So I have 5 times b times b times b times 3 times a. And I'm going to divide out common factors. So I have 3 divided by 3, which is 1. A divided by a is 1. 5 divided by 5. B divided by b. And b divided by b. And I'm left in the numerator with 2a squared, and in the denominator with b. So my simplified product is 2a squared over b. Now you can certainly do the numerical part in your calculator. You could put 6/5 times 5/3 into your calculator, but you cannot put the letters into the calculator, so the variable part will have to be done by hand. So for number 10, again, we're multiplying across the top and across the bottom. So for the numerators, I have 2 times x times 3, and across the bottom, 3 times 5 times y times 2. And now I'm going to divide out common factors. So I have 2 divided by 2, and I have 3 divided by 3, and I'm left with 2x over 5y as my product. Now, to divide fractions, we multiply by the reciprocal of the divisor, and another way of saying that is keep the first fraction as is, change your division to multiplication, and flip your divisor. So I'm going to keep 20c to the third over 9. I'm going to change division here to multiplication, and flipping the second fraction gives me 21 over 10c to the fifth. And now that I have a multiplication problem, I'm going to go across the numerators and across the denominators. So 20 is broken down into 4 times 5, or 2 times 2 times 5, and now times c to the third, that's c times c times c. And 21 we can break down to 3 times 7, it's prime factorization. Across the bottom, 9 is going to be written 3 times 3, and 10c to the fifth, so 10 is going to be 2 times 5, and then I have 5 factors of c. I'm going to divide out common factors, so 2 divided by 2 is 1, and then I have 3 divided by 3, 5 divided by 5, c divided by c, another c divided by c, c divided by c. So I'm left in the numerator with 14. 2 times 7 here is 14, and in the denominator I have 3c squared. And problem number 10, I have 27y over 8z to the fourth divided by 18y to the third over z. So first I'm going to keep the first fraction, 27y over 8z to the fourth. I'm going to change division to multiplication and flip the second fraction, so z is on top and 18y to the third is in the denominator. So multiplying across the top, 27 is 3 times 9, and that 9 is 3 times 3. So I have 3 times 3 times 3 times y, and I continue across the top to the z. And the prime factorization of 8 is 2 times 2 times 2, and z to the 4th. And 18 is 2 times 9, or 2 times 3 times 3, and y to the 3rd power. And now I'm going to divide out common factors. So I have 3 divided by 3, 3 divided by 3, and here I have y divided by y, and z divided by z. So I'm going to multiply together what's left in the numerator and denominator. So I have 3 in the numerator, and 2 times 2 is 4, times 2 is 8, times 2 is 16, z to the 3rd power, and y squared.